And hello guys, today I want to review a Have a Nice Death game. The fact that the Have a Nice Death team took inspiration from Dead Cells is striking. From the most striking examples, in the arsenal is also the main weapon and two of the abilities. Exactly the same system of increasing the difficulty for those wishing those debuffs on the opponents, and I couldn't help but notice. Roguelikes are a good constant sense of progress in the course of the rounds, which here is completely absent. It is unclear how you could make a basic weapon combat so boring, and even add to the attacks quite often staggered. Most opponents can be killed by spamming one button, just because they do not come out of stagnation. Casual to the core. Just wanted to at first gameplay to note that the damage is very painful for Hilk if and drop. Then as is, until the game offered me an artifact that just gives unlimited heal. The only opportunity to make the walkthrough more or less hardcore was just killed. Either gross imbalance, or complete crap incapable of dealing damage under any circumstances. Moreover, in the developers Discord from April there are hoopla about the fact that everything must be nerfed. In general, the very fact that what I call imbalanced is already nerfed arty gives reason to think. Because of all these factors, fun action RPG turns into a dull deck building, and the only way to find out to try to gather through what fell out first, even if the artifact from the lowest range. The attempt is very likely to fail, but it's better than praying that you'll find something better in the next room with guns. The plot. All super superficial, no intrigue, no non-linearity, or at least the illusion of it. A game for the sake of the game with no attempt to explain what is happening. The ending is just one. Stuffed funny dialogues that quickly ends, but added a lot of books to read in the game magazine about each character. However, this remains a mystery. The trick is that the bosses are separated by false stories, which must be overcome. There are a lot of enemies, but they are not very dangerous. It's worth remembering their attacks, and the mobs will cease to be a nuisance. The only exception can be the arena, where the hero is locked up alone with a crowd of enemies. In this case, do not run through the floors, not paying attention to anything. It's better to pass the way to the boss as effectively as possible. On some levels you can find essence that allows you to pump up the weapon and increase the damage. On others you'll find useful in battle equipment. Somewhere there is a mini-boss, for the victory over which will award a bundle of values. Interestingly, the game chooses which floor to go to. Should he run to get essence and gather resources, or is it just better to go to the workshop and pump up the weapon? Do you risk going to the mini-boss? If you think about the routes, the battle with the mightiest enemies will be easier. The main draw of the roguelikes is also in place. Just like in Dead Cells, the hero will lose all progress if he dies. You can put together a cool build where blows set enemies on fire, the scythe decides hits with an increased radius and deals huge damage, and the equipped abilities allow you to rain a meteor shower on the heads of your opponents. Once you die, however, all of this disappears. You have to start a new race from the starting point and without abilities. Even the defeated bosses will resurrect and demand a rematch. The only indulgence is that after a successful attempt to death gets a gold bars. These can be spent to unlock new weapons that may fall out during the passage and improve their quality. However, this does not make the gameplay any easier, because there is no guarantee that the necessary stuff will fall out in the near future. Perhaps the only thing that can both have a nice death is great visuals. Sprites of characters and all sorts of animations, hand-drawn frame by frame, cannot but please. As a result, we have a very cool idea that needs to sell a huge file for the next year. To begin, we'll fix the items and add at least some storyline, but for now, at most, 5 out of 10. So, thank you guys for watching and see you in the next review.